Hello, welcome back. This is chapter 5th, Indigo, written by Louis Fisher, and today I'm going to explain page number 49 to you. So here we go. Presently, the landlord's learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo. So currently, the landlords had learned, they had received the information, the report by which they came to know that Germany had developed the technology. They succeeded in developing the technology by which they could extract, they could have synthetic indigo. Say they could mechanically manufacture synthetic indigo. They thereupon obtain agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement. So now they realize that indigo plantation, indigo production, or say the indigo crop had lost all its utility, had lost all its significance. So now they wanted the sharecrops to come under some agreement, to have some agreement done with the landlords. That is, they played a trick here. Since the sharecroppers had no idea of synthetic technology, so they were fooled by these landlords saying that we are ready to release you from this age old arrangement. But for this, you need to compensate us. Simply, if you compensate us for the losses that we would incur as we release you from this 15% arrangement agreement. So if you compensate us, then we'll be happy to release you. We'll have no issue releasing you. That is making you free of this arrangement. The sharecropping arrangement was irksome to the peasants, and many signed willingly. Since they proposed this, they made the proposal of releasing them of this this arrangement. So many of the peasants who were frustrated with this, who found this irksome, who found this irritating, they willingly signed this agreement. Those who resisted engaged lawyers, the landlords hired thugs, and those who resisted it, those who said no, we are not going to pay you for any loss that you will have as a result of releasing us from this arrangement, from this agreement, since we paid you enough in the past. So those who said in this way, those who raised their voice in this way, they had to hire the lawyers. And the landlords in such case hired the thugs, the middleman, say the middleman, or the cheaters or cheats, those who can cheat them, who can easily say dupe them and make them to sign this agreement. So they hired such thugs. Meanwhile, the information about synthetic indigo reached the illiterate peasants who had signed, and they wanted their money back. Now, in the meantime, while all these things were going on, the issue was still on. Say half of the peasants signed and half not. So while the issue was running this way, the information had reached the illiterate peasants about the synthetic indigo, and they realized that they had been cheated, they had been duped. So they wanted their money back. Those who had signed, they wanted their money back. At this point, Gandhi arrived in Champaran. At such a point, at such a situation, Gandhiji arrived in Champaran. He began by trying to get the facts first and visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. Since he was a lawyer himself, so he knew all the uh, all the system. He knew that going about a case without having the details, without going into the study, going into detail into the matter, was not a wise thing. So he first decided to get facts. And for this, he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary told him that they could give no information to an outsider. Gandhi answered that he was no outsider. Now, as he sought information from the secretary, British Landlords Association, he denied any kind of information and said they cannot provide any kind of information to an outsider. Since he was outsider, he was not from that village, that to say that district, that province. So he said, "Oh, we cannot provide an outsider any kind of information." And Gandhi said, "No, I'm not an outsider." Next, Gandhi called on the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division, in which the Champaran district lay. So, in the next part, he visited the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division, and that is, he went to the British commissioner of the Tirhut division. That is the British official in charge of the Tirhut division. So Gandhiji went to him and had a talk. He wanted to had a talk with him. So he went there district, since Champaran was part of this division. So he went there and wanted to have a talk with the commissioner. The commissioner, Gandhi reports, proceeded to bully me and advised me forthwith to leave Tirhut. And as he approached him, he had all the information regarding Gandhiji, that such and such a man is here who is say encouraging people to not pay their taxes, and also he had all the information. Or say an outsider is here who wants to get information about the land deeds, and also he had this information. And so he said, he just resorted, as Gandhiji approached him, he proceeded to bully. That is, using slangs and showing his high-handedness. So all this thing happened, and also advised him to leave Tirhut forthwith, right there, right away. Gandhi did not leave, but Gandhi did not leave. Gandhiji continued to stay there. He didn't leave. Instead, he proceeded to Motihari, the capital of Champaran, and on the contrary, he moved to the capital of Champaran, that is Motihari. At that time, several lawyers accompanied him, and lawyers too accompanied him. That is, lawyers gave him company. They too moved to Champaran. At the railway station, a vast multitude greeted Gandhi. At the station, there was a huge crowd to greet Gandhiji, because he was there for the cause of the poor peasants. He went to a house and, using it as headquarters, continued his investigation. So he moved to a house there in in Motihari, and made that house his headquarters and had all his operations from there, from that place. A report came in that a peasant, a report came in that a peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. So a report came in. He was there, and there came a report to him that a poor peasant, had been maltreated, um, badly treated in the nearby village. Gandhi decided to go and see. The next morning, he started out on the back of an elephant. So he decided to see that poor peasant, and the next morning, early, early on only, he just proceeded to the village on elephant back, not horseback, but elephant back. He had not proceeded far when the police superintendent's messenger overtook him and ordered him to return to town, and he had hardly moved out of the area, or hardly moved a few hundred meters, when the commissioner's messenger came. He overtook him and ordered him to go back, return to town in his carriage. He ordered, or say he asked him to return to the town in his carriage. That is, he was ready to leave him in his carriage to his place, to his house. So this is all for now. Thank you.